Wow, in this next video, you're going to see a reporter from JayWalk Media going around talking to protesters and asking them, is Trump really worse than Hitler? Check out what they say.
Is Trump worse than Hitler?
You know what? He might be. He might be.
Is Trump as bad as Hitler?
Yes, and he shits his pants, except Hitler didn't shit his pants. Hitler didn't wear adult diapers.
He's a fascist.
You keep saying that, but you don't seem to know what fascism means. So I would recommend reading a history book and maybe stop watching CNN. But thank you so much. All right, good. Thank you. Hey guys, this is Matt Miller with JayWalk Media. Today we're here in New York City at Madison Square Garden where Trump's having a massive rally. We're asking these protesters here, is Trump really as bad as Hitler, like so many Democrats and so many in the media have said? Even Kamala Harris recently compared him to Hitler. Let's see what they have to say. Oh, Hitler killed 6 million Jews. You think Trump is worse than him?
He allowed 500,000 people to die of COVID. If Biden didn't come in there in 2021, you think more people would not die here in America through COVID because of his negligence?
He downplayed the coronavirus. 500,000 people died as a result. What do you call that?
Trump actually expedited the vaccine development. That was his project.
I am going to repeat what I just said. He purposefully downplayed the virus. 500,000 people that year died as a result of that. What do you call it? I could say I see more similarities as Kamala does. Thank you.
So that's comparable to Hitler? Why is it a Nazi rally? Who are you? We're JayWalk journalists.
It doesn't matter. If you are following Hitler's playbook, if you are if you're like actually saying that Hitler did some good things, and if you're actually following his playbook and using the same language and terminology he did, then you're probably a Nazi. And I just think people should know what they're attending. And what's lovely is when we walk by them, they were taking pictures with it because they do know.
Okay. So do you think Trump is comparable to Hitler? Is he as bad as Hitler?
He's not as smart as Hitler, but he's got a lot of people around him that are probably intelligent enough and evil. So yeah, it becomes dangerous. And I think it's well documented. And asking us that feels like you haven't been paying attention.
What is the definition of fascism? Do you know?
No, see, now, no, this is the language that y'all start using, that MAGA people start using.
The definition?
Yeah, you start walking up and you're gonna try to pick shit apart and stuff, and this is, yes.
It's like a very straightforward question. You're saying fascism.
It's actually not a straightforward question. It's a loaded question that is your playbook, your MAGA playbook. I'm done.
You're gonna call Trump fascist? Okay, what's that?
They had a Nazi rally at the old Madison Square Garden in 1939.
They got Rangers games too.
The biggest Nazi rally in American history.
Okay.
And Hillary Clinton has said this, and it made some allusion to the fact that this is sort of a reimagining or a second coming of that Nazi.
Are the Rangers Nazis?
Pardon me?
Are the New York Rangers Nazis? Because they play here.
Yeah. I don't think everybody who plays in a venue is a Nazi just because there was a Nazi rally occurred there.
There you go then. So Trump's having his event here. How is he liking the Nazis because of that?
Well, because he's espoused a lot of fascist ideology.
Like what?
Like turning America's military on American citizens who he doesn't agree with, arresting his opponents and jailing them, or
they've arrested him.
Building concentration camps for the immigrants that he doesn't like.
You need to, I think you need to do some research.
Calling U.S. soldiers suckers and losers, and people who don't.
That's been debunked. Like, that's not even, you got to do some more updated research, or maybe stop watching CNN, because none of that is true.
He's a fascist.
How is he a fascist? What is the definition of fascism?
That's what the person who worked for him longest and knows him best said of him.
What is the definition of fascism?
Take the word of all the people who have worked for him.
Do you know what fascism means? Can you give me just a basic definition? What is fascism?
Well, it's pretty complicated, but I'm talking
very
about,
simple.
I'm talking about the ideology of the Germans used fascism. The rise of dictator.
The National Socialist. You think Trump's a National Socialist?
I think I think I just take the word of the people who work for him and were closest to him. It's not for me to, I never worked for him, I don't know, but if you're listening to people who worked for him, they say he's a fascist.
You keep saying that, but you don't seem to know what fascism means. So I would recommend reading a history book and maybe stop watching CNN, but thank you so much.
You know, I really feel sorry for these protesters. Not sorry in a way like I sympathize with them. Sorry in a way that they are so brainwashed. And I know they probably say that about conservatives. Oh, we're so brainwashed. But I really feel here is the difference. When a Democrat asks a conservative a question, not only do we answer with details, but we go beyond the details. So we're not just answering the talking points that we might hear the media say. We go deeper into the conversation if the Democrat allows it. Because, you know, once we do that, they just like, oh, I don't want to talk to you, right? They just like back off or get personal or take personal shots, whatever. But in this video, you see everyone just saying only the talking points that we're hearing CNN and the left-wing media talk and say and try to brainwash their viewers' minds into believing. I mean, when the reporter was asking that one guy about the rally at Madison Square Garden, I love how the reporter just let this guy talk to answer the question that is everybody's point. Just because you have a rally at a venue that many years ago was a rally where Hitler had one, does not make your rally a Hitler rally. And this guy says it exactly. Oh, just because you have an event at Madison Square Garden doesn't mean that that was like the point that he was making. And there were other Democrats who had rallies at Madison Square Garden too. I forgot all the years, but there were other Democrats who had rallies. You don't hear Hillary Clinton saying those were Hitler rallies too. Oh no. And I really felt sorry for when the same guy said, well, Hillary said, I mean, I'm sorry, but once I'm talking to someone and they say, well, Hillary said, I'm sorry, the conversation just ends because everything that comes out of Hillary's mouth is a lie. This was great reporting, and it was great showing so much how the protesters out there have no clue as to what they're protesting. They have no clue of how to really explain why they're protesting beyond the talking points they hear in the media.